One. Holy jerk. I really hate that this happens.
Yeah, it doesn't say anything. It says Dr. Manley is now in hospice care after a long, valiant battle with cancer. May his grace and care abound to he and his family. The legacy he leaves is immeasurable.
You found the, guessing the
Facebook.
Facebook?
Yeah.
I have to find. For some reason, this didn't take. We were way ahead of the thing. This is one thing I am not liking about Rumble, and I probably could take the time to figure out. It's not 129. No, okay. Like, is it changing over time? Because now it's different, and I saved this. Bear with us, people on YouTube. And start. Okay.
You can put your clothes back on, she's leaving you. No time to apologize for the things you do. Go rent a Ferrari and sing the blues. Believe that Clapton was the second coming. Falls apart, we all got work to do. It gets dark, we all got work to do. She's leaving.
And it's Thursday.
Hmm.
A little like 90s sounding, melancholy,
Yeah, who is that?
tragic song. Mr. Letterman.
Wow. She's
That's-
leaving me? That's the name of the song?
She's leaving you.
Oh. Well, good riddance.
We'll see ya
Yeah.
down the highway.
Hmm.
What's happening?
Oh, a lot's happening. But
How's the new president treating you?
so far, well, my gas was $2.59 today.
It's amazing. He hasn't even taken a foot in the office,
No.
and the gas prices are falling.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm thinking back to the days when I was in high school and I was paying 89 cents a gallon.
Wow, that would be cool.
That would be amazing.
I'm thinking when I was in high school, it was like a buck and a quarter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But see, the only way to work that out is then everybody's going to have to take a pay cut. That's the only
Why?
way that stuff works.
No, that's not true. No, listen. All right, so
Because obviously
this
I
is
was only
what-
making $4.50 an hour when it was 89 cents a gallon.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Minimum wage, all that stuff, you know.
Yeah, but see, there's so much oil,
Yeah,
it can still be that cheap.
I agree. It could,
Yeah.
yeah, easily.
It's like I was listening to. Well, I think there's somebody Glenn Beck had on, and he was
Okay.
talking about the tariffs. Like, all right, I import Chinese machines and sell them here, so Donald Trump's going to put tariffs on exports coming in, so that if there is a manufacturer of something here, it's favorable for you to buy American.
Yeah.
Okay. They were like, the other team is like, tariffs are terrible. It's just gonna pass. It's gonna raise the prices on this, that, and the other. actually what happens is the Chinese subsidize the tariff. I think they said that the Chinese paid during the first Trump administration $1.5 billion subsidizing the tariff so that they still could ship stuff over here
Okay.
and keep their people employed. So you're putting a hurting on their economy.
Right.
Like now all of a sudden they're not thinking about bombing Taiwan because they're worried about subsidizing a tariff so they can keep their people eating so that their people don't turn around and eat them at their home.
Right.
So like there's always like when I thought what you were saying was we're going to have to go without, like if we want gas to... No, the economy is much more complicated.
Yeah, I agree.
And I think that there's 82,000 different ways of wiggle room to do things. Mm-hmm. Do you want to free people? Do you want to bless people? Do you want people that can be prosperous and love the leadership?
Yeah.
Or do you want to roll with an iron fist, tax them to death, make them hate you? Mm-hmm. You know, these are the arguments that come out of this stuff. All right, I'm done babbling.
No, I hear what you're saying, man. So I thought it was interesting, just heads up, I was just perusing some Nazarene news. And
is there a paper, the Nazarene News?
No, but, there's different websites, and, of course, the main Hub Nazarene website and different, church websites. But I just found out that a court in the Nazarene denomination, one of the higher courts.
We have our own courts?
Well, it's probably what you would consider like a church, like the upper church board.
Could we call it a tribunal?
Tribunal, yeah, it would be, yeah. But they found an individual theologian from one of the seminaries or colleges guilty of trying to teach like homosexual lifestyles are okay and permitted, like in scripture and that, and kind of like we should include them, like an inclusive type of thing.
Okay.
And so they pulled his credentials because of that. I thought that was a well done. So good call on that.
Okay. I
like that idea. But however, I do hear a lot of rumblings and floating thoughts of different churches and people. And there's actually been, I think, 3 pastors that have been removed in different, one in California, maybe one in Texas, that have been removed for that same reason, that they've been
from
teaching,
Nazarene Church.
Yeah, that they've been teaching things that are not biblically accurate when it comes to the idea of homosexuality and LGBTQ and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So that was a positive for me because I was always wondering, where we stood. I know they give like their statements every year or every so often, about where we stand on that, and they've been fairly good statements. During COVID, I was a little put off by some of their critical.
Meanwhile, they were chasing people out of churches.
Yeah.
First time ever in history, we're gonna want you to stay home.
Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly. And I was a little put off by their critical race theory statements. Because I thought that
was all just getting started then, though.
Yeah, it was.
I don't think people really knew what to do with that.
Yeah, I think you're right, and I think they've kind of come to a balance in that. But it's just it is what it is. I mean, 13% of our population is African American in the United States. You can't have them in every branch of everything,
Well, this is the argument that people try to make. It's
right.
like if you truly want a representative, whatever, you'll. In a group of 20,
right,
you'll only have 2 blacks.
Right.
That's 20%.
Yeah. Right.
Or 10. That's 10%.
Yeah.
So maybe 3.
Yeah.
But that's it.
Right.
And then you'll have a couple Asians.
Right. We go to the Hispanic.
You're gonna have mostly white though.
Yeah.
Most of them are gonna be white.
Yeah.
I was listening to Steve Deace, and he was breaking down the election, and he goes, "Do you know who really came through for Donald Trump?
Mm-hmm.
White American males.
Wow.
White American males decided to go vote." He goes, "That is the most people in the country. Like it or not, that's the numbers. They went to vote."
I did hear that he carried a lot of the Hispanic and African American vote as well.
He did make inroads in those different groups.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day,
right.
We teach that everybody's equal and whatever, but if you go by representative of the people, by the statistics of who's here,
right,
there's still a lot of white American males.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and this is where the Harris Party screwed up. Is they've convinced themselves that that's not the case anymore.
Yeah.
They were trying to figure out why white American women were voting.
I did see
For
that.
Donald
That
Trump.
was interesting. Yeah.
But I just think once you go so far ridiculous,
Right.
everybody sees that it's ridiculous.
Right. Right.
You know, George Bush fooled me once, and you fool the guy who was fooling me once.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Right.
So
Yeah. You stay. Do you keep up or watch at all the Duck Dynasty guy, the Unashamed podcast? You ever watch that?
I used to. Like, kind of boring.
Yeah, it did after a while. He, I know he was a big endorser.
Is it still the dad? Is it still the senior? Is he still on
I
there?
think the two sons run a lot more of
Jace is on there a
Yeah.
lot.
Yeah.
And then the son who's a pastor.
Yeah, I don't think the old man's on there as much.
I don't either. He's got to be getting up there.
Yeah, I would think. Yeah.
But anyway, what did you have on there?
Well, I was just thinking through too that guys like that who have been kind of sounding the call, and I really think like the dad at least, and maybe the sons, they've been with that podcast. They've really been like promoting strong Christian values.
Yeah.
And these are guys that I think over the last at least 4 years prior to Biden, they were kind of pro-Trump. I don't know. I haven't seen really where they're at now, but I know they were still kind of rooting and voting for that, that lane as far as Republican. But I'm just wondering, like, you see some of these stronger Christian people, and they seem to be okay. Like, they like the idea of conservatism and all that, but you don't see them being called into, like, Trump's inner circle. Like 4 years ago, I don't know if you were familiar with this, but his prayer group was headed up by Paula White, who is one of the most controversial prosperity female preachers of the day.
Okay.
And very charismatic
Is
or
she,
Pentecostal.
is she one of the people like Beth? What's her head?
Worse than that.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, big time.
Pentecostal, not Baptist.
Correct.
Okay,
yeah,
all right.
Yeah. And even, like, I'm telling you, Pentecostals probably kind of turn their head when they see her to a degree, because
Okay.
she's out there.
She's alienated even her group.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, she's got a big following. When I was in Florida, Paula White, her husband was the pastor of a church called Without Walls in Tampa, Florida.
Okay.
We never went to it, but you'd see it on TV every so often, and I'd watch it, and I'm like, man, every time I'd see her come out, it was like the crowd went wild, and her husband was kind of this guy that had like a toupee, and I'm like, she's going on her own eventually. Well, it wasn't a couple years later. They were divorced. She was remarried, and she was doing her own ministry, and she blew up. I mean, she just went nuts.
Yeah.
And then Trump ended up bringing her on, which I thought was strange because she's like a TD. She was connected with TD Jakes, and
You know about all that now.
I have heard about the P. Diddy and TD Jakes stuff, but I don't know how much.
I know.
I mean,
I hear you.
yeah, I don't know what's what. But he did resign, from my understanding, from
He
his
did.
church, right?
That's what I've been trying to find out, is if he actually resigned.
Yeah, you don't. Well, I
It's
think
hard
he
to
did.
find anything for real.
I think he did. And if he did, well, even just this has only been within the last year. Bill Hybels resigned because of sexual harassment stuff. You got a lot of guys that have resigned recently.
So we were talking a little bit about my guy,
John MacArthur.
Mr. MacArthur.
Yeah.
And about the thing being involved in something 30, 40 years ago, right? Is what we're saying.
Right.
And I think there's a lot different. I think there's a lot of difference in being involved in a scandal that's 30 or 40 years old, going back and wrestling that dragon, than TD Jakes
Right.
supposedly with a P Diddy. Wasn't that last week where I was watching a woman and she was like, he went to the Diddy party.
Yeah.
You go to a Diddy party either for sex or
Right.
money.
Right.
That's what you go there for.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of like, you don't put that together, but then you kind of go, well, that does seem kind of obvious.
Right. Now, Snoops.
Snope.
Is that what it is? Snopes?
Snopes.
Yeah, Snopes. I thought it was Snoops.
No,
All right.
Snopes.
I guess I'm thinking of Snoop Dogg, right? Anyway, TD Jakes disparaged in false and unfounded rumors alongside Diddy sex abuse allegations. And this appears to say that he has not. So it says here, TD Jakes, 66, Well, here's the rumor. The rumor in videos on TikTok is that TD Jakes 66 resigned from his senior pastor role at the Potter's House megachurch in Dallas. According to the videos, Jakes purported resigned related to the sex abuse allegations with Diddy. However, as recently as May 12th, weeks after the resignation rumor began, according to footage on the services available at the church website and YouTube channel, the false rumor, that was it. It was just simply a rumor. Supposedly he's still there. I guess we could find out by going to the website as well and seeing if he's there preaching. But see, here's the thing. Like, he's been connected real closely with Oprah Winfrey, and we know Oprah Winfrey's on this dark side, and I'm not, trying to be facetious here, but she's
No, yeah,
she's
I
on
understand.
that side, right?
Well, the New Age spiritualists kind of, and T.D. Jakes kind of okayed that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. And so did the dude out of New York, Hillsong. What's the guy's name? I can't think of his name now. But he was Justin Bieber's pastor, and he got caught in the scandal.
Well, and so we're also throwing the guy in North Carolina with the tennis shoes and the "I am God."
Oh, Furtick.
Yes, Furtick.
Jason, yeah.
They're saying
Furtick.
he's in.
No
like,
way.
there's a lot of people in this circle and these circles.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I guess you got to be careful because as a Christian, we don't want to be spreading malicious gossip or rumors.
No, we don't.
Right?
But where there's smoke,
Yeah.
I mean,
there's usually a fire.
there's usually a fire.
And
listen, it's not like how do you want to say this? I'm thinking about our other favorite guy, Toll Jostein down there.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You're like, I don't know. It's that thing of like, if you're at a certain point where you have to go, okay,
right?
Is this about the Lord or is this about? Oh, hey, Brandon.
Oh, hey.
Hey.
Did you get that boiler working? We got heat.
That and the carpet got to come out.
Oh, really? So if anybody's watching on YouTube, Brandon said the carpet needs to be removed.
What carpet?
In the sanctuary? Oh, my goodness.
No, we think it's the solenoid valve.
Oh,
So we're going to figure that out here.
all right. Do we need to buy a part?
Probably.
How much is that going to be?
It's only
Huh?
10,000.
$10,000 for a solenoid.
30,
pipe.
$40.
Yeah. All right. Can't you just put a piece of aluminum foil between?
It's not opening.
Oh.
It's not a fuse. You can't
Spray it with some WD-40. That'll make it open.
Can't you put a 22 in it?
Thanks, Brandon. Yeah. So I guess I'm a little bit. I'm not taken back by this, but like, okay. So here's my thought tonight. Like, if we were to talk about all these pastors, like, do you throw everything out? I was just having this conversation with someone here the last couple of weeks. Do you throw everything out they've ever written, ever said, and just
We go back to Ravi Zachariah.
Yeah, go back to Ravi Zacharias, James McDonald, all these guys that have kind of fallen, whether it's Hybels, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Some of these guys have written some really, technically, some people believe really good stuff. Mm-hmm. Do you throw all that out? Do you go all the way back to like the A.W. Tozers and all that? And what if you found out that A.W. Tozer was doing something strange?
We would have no idea.
Right.
The world is not. I mean, it's like we were talking earlier. It depends on how you let the lens that you look through life at that time.
Right.
And so we really have no idea from back then.
Yeah.
And the only reason we have an idea now, I think, is because everybody likes to tell on everybody. Mm-hmm. Everybody likes to be in everybody's business.
Yeah.
And it's much more. These guys have made their lives public on purpose.
Right.
It's my belief, my opinion. T.D. Jakes wanted to be popular. Mm-hmm. Joel Osteen wants to be a big time preacher.
Joyce Myers.
This is the point of what they're doing.
Right.
Is to yes, preach the word. This is the gray area.
Right.
Preach the word of God.
Right.
But we want to build a big business.
Yeah.
We there's money that comes with this.
Yeah. Right.
Joyce Myers.
Yeah. Well, So all these guys, and then I was just thinking about Brian Houston, who was the big.
That's the Hillsong guy.
Yeah, that's the Hillsong guy.
You found it.
But yeah, I found it in my head in one of the files. I found his name in there. So you've got all these guys, and these guys aren't denying a lot of these allegations. Like they're accepting that. Driscoll from Mars Hill, and now he's back in the saddle doing his own thing out at some other church campus. David Platt just got removed from McLean Bible Church.
Yeah, what was that for?
Well, some people say that it was like a kind of a bad church split type thing where some people got disgruntled and went against him for they blamed him or they accused him of connecting the church behind their backs because it was an independent, like a non-denominational church, and they accused him of somehow, I don't know how you would say it, but somehow linking them to the Southern Baptist Convention. So the Southern Baptist Church somehow gained control.
See, I feel like these are much more theologically based.
Yeah, than scandals like that.
Than
yeah,
scandals.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, here's the other thing, though, too, that some people are like with David Platt. David Platt wrote a book. He became really famous with the book
because
Radical.
he kind of takes a liberal bent.
He has. He's gone woke. On critical race theory.
Yeah.
So he's done that. Maybe not on homosexuality, but definitely on critical race theory. But the other thing for David Platt is that he got famous by his book Radical, which was all about the American people are spoiled brats. They spend all their money on this stuff, and we should be using our money for the gospel. And then, like just last year, I just saw a report.
A broken clock is right twice a day.
Right. So I just saw a report that like a year ago, he bought a $1.1 million home for him and his family. So how do you write a book telling people to sacrifice pretty much everything they have and then go buy a $1.1 million home?
Well, you know where he's at? If you're going to kick me out, then I guess I'm playing the game.
I guess.
I guess I'm playing the game.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So I just don't know, like, where is the state of the church when you got all this
scandal? Is it because
scandal?
God is not using enough lightning? Is that what's going on?
I mean, it might be. It might be.
Like, I don't want to question, but
or maybe it's good. Maybe
nobody's
it goes back,
getting fried.
Maybe it goes back, Matt, to what you and I were talking about earlier, and that is that the church's standards have fell so low that it's not about humility and holiness anymore. It's just about like whether you can perform and whether or not you can become popular.
Am I allowed to say this is why I didn't like the love doctrine?
I don't care. What are you allowed to? What do you mean? I still think love wins, but not the way some people run it. But go ahead.
Well, you don't remember us having this conversation back at the community house? I'm like, yeah, Brian, but okay, love, we get it, but there's also justice and holiness.
I know. I agree.
There's all of these things.
I agree.
All the church has been preaching for since 2009 is just inclusivity and love. And
nobody's perfect, and you're okay. I'm
come
okay.
as you are,
right?
Which, yeah, all these things are true. Come as you are,
right?
But be ready to change.
Right, which that's what Rick Warren said, and I think he's...
Don't you compare me to Rick Warren.
That's the standard right there, Rick
That's
Warren.
a really jerky move right there. Oh, man.
His purpose-driven life.
I fell right into that.
That was in his purpose-driven
I
life.
fell right into it.
God doesn't want you to stay where you are. That's good, Matt. You're on it now. Wow.
Now if I could just make my own Bible.
I think maybe you should see if Saddleback has like an associate pastor.
Well, listen, because he's not there anymore, right?
Well, yeah, he got ousted for something. I don't remember what.
Yeah, he's gone.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, and then you've got, like, I just brought up the fact that I think the Church of the Nazarene is standing pretty strong on LGBTQ, and yet they might be flopping on critical race theory and stuff a little bit. For my taste, but then you've got all these denominations that are folding with the LGBTQ stuff, and so the state of the church in America and in Europe, it was happening like years earlier.
Yeah,
and Barna was doing research. 15 years ago, I was reading Barna's research, and George Barna was like, "We are quickly becoming like Europe in the way they're falling, and we have followed suit with Europe, like
10 years behind them."
Yeah.
I remember everybody was going nuts about this in the early 2000s about what they were doing, and in fact they would have interviewed people over there like, America, it's coming for you next.
Yeah.
And here we are. We fell right into it.
Right. Yeah. So I'm just not sure.
But we fell into it as we've allowed ourselves to, because we like money, and we like entertainment.
Yeah.
We like
entertainment's key for the church today, I think.
Yeah.
Like if you can't be entertained.
Look at the worship. So I was at home kind of thinking about watching worship music, and I'm kind of like, I made fun of them in the 90s because we had all these bands. Remember Carmen? You probably don't remember any of this
I do
stuff.
remember
you
Carmen.
You were a heathen still.
Well, I was, but when I was just becoming a Christian, Carmen was kind of popular in Florida. But I was like, he's got a hairy chest. And he looks like...
I don't know about his chest.
Didn't he do that movie where he was like a boxer or something?
Yeah, Against the Devil. Because he would do these theme songs. He was almost like our Weird Al Yankovic in a weird way.
Yeah, I almost left Christianity because I'm like, I don't know if I can deal with this mediocre media stuff like these.
Okay,
actors.
so this is exactly my point.
Go ahead.
You're tagging on the thing that my mom would try and find Christian artists, and there were a lot of them, and they had everything from a hair metal type thing, to with Petra and like some hard rock stuff, all the way. Then they had country guys like Russ Taft and I can't think of some of these other names, but like you had a whole. Then we were rewiring my grandmother's house in like 1994 or 5. And that was just after Rich Mullins died. And Rich Mullins came in and like shook the whole thing up, because prior to that, it was kind of like you found a group of music. You said, I like that style.
Yeah.
Now I'm just going to pound Jesus into the words, and then we're going to have a thing.
Right.
And that was kind of hokey, just exactly like what you're saying.
Yeah.
Rich Mullins came along and he started writing like original material. And so I feel like we got rid of some of the hokiness, and then this would be into the 2000s, and after the people were, you do a lot more like singing tracks now, because it's like these are our songs.
Yeah.
And then I feel like in the past, since like Jesus Culture, 9, 10, 11.
Okay.
We're like, no, you know what the church is? It's worship music. And we've sold enough guitars, and enough people have gone to college for music theory, that even the worship music is amazing.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
It is.
I know we can do tenths and sevenths and augmented ninths, and we know we need this chord progression because that's what people like. And then, this swell pedal so the guitar goes, love that. That's fun.
Yeah.
And boom, we got a new industry. It's worship music.
Right.
But now we're writing worship music from the guys out in California. Bethel.
Yeah.
So we're like, okay, theologically, what are we now done to our what we call Christian whatever?
Yeah.
And I don't remember where I was headed with this, but it's the same thing that happened with the preaching. It's the same thing we've always done. We get railroaded by the prize at the end of being popular.
Right.
Everybody wanted to be Jesus Culture.
Yeah.
Then everybody wanted to be Hillsong.
Yeah.
Now everybody wants to be
well,
whoever's in Raleigh or whatever.
Right.
Uplift worship. I don't think they're all named garbage.
Elevation.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, did you watch the Dove Awards this last year?
No.
So we watched a little bit of it. It was. I mean, if they didn't say Jesus a couple times, you'd think it was just Christian.
Anybody else?
Yeah, the country music awards.
Were they wearing black, white, and red?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Well, white. A lot of white.
That's not great.
I don't know about black. I don't know about red. But anyway, but like, so I'm looking at these musical groups and these people, and granted, they get up there and they do talk about Jesus, and they talk about reaching people for Christ and all these things. But I find that I have such a struggle because ultimately it comes down to my personal dedication to desire to be a disciple, a follower of Christ, so that I can reach people. And I don't know that it's supposed to be my job at figuring out who's bad and who's good out there. But when you're being presented with this in the church, like how are we supposed to not talk about these things when our people are exposed to it constantly? Like the people, I mean,
I think you just assume you're gonna have a small church.
Well, yeah, in the sense that
I'm gonna throw out something else. You're gonna have attendance of 80 for like 3 months.
yeah,
Then you're gonna have attendance of like 35 for 6 months.
yeah. Once they find out,
Once they find out,
yeah.
gosh darn, every week we go, he just preaches the Bible.
I know. What is wrong with
When is he gonna go running through the aisles just one time?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Or at least tell me my best day is not to
Yeah.
suffer
Right.
and die.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
No, I mean I get that.
He is for you.
Yeah.
He is for you.
He is.
He is for you.
That's a song.
He is for you. Yes, it is.
Yeah,
That's,
yeah. It's a good song. I like it.
we,
And he is for me.
somebody,
He's not against me.
somebody was analyzing, like, we've taken Christian music, worship music, which is supposed to be worshiping God.
Yeah.
We've made it about us.
Right. No, we have. We were having these conversations. I remember this back in like early 99 when I was in Bible college.
Yeah.
I remember having some of these conversations even then.
Yeah.
But
You went to a Baptist school.
I did.
Okay.
I
Makes
did,
sense. It's
actually.
the only thing that makes sense.
Yeah. But I guess I don't know how to navigate through a lot of this other than I think we just need to stand true to personally decide that we are going to worship in song and in the word. We're going to worship and do the best we can to do that authentically and pure and humbly.
Yeah.
Because so here's one of my other gigs. Like I was watching some of these guys that were talking about all these musical groups that have kind of gone woke and they've, they're all about critical race theory now. And some of these bands are
They were Christian groups.
and they're endorsing like the LGBTQ community and these kind of things. So then they're like, well, I found one YouTuber. He's like, well, we're always talking about all the bad people. Well, here, I'm going to give you 3 people that are good people to listen to. So then they got this guy by the name of Matt Boswell.
Okay.
Have you ever heard of him?
No.
Okay, you might want to look him up. And then they got, I can't remember the other guy's name. And then they got a City of Light. Have you heard of those guys?
I've heard of them.
Okay, so those were 2 that he put on there. And I've heard City of Light back in the day.
Yeah.
They got some older stuff. So I'm listening to that, and I'm thinking to myself, okay, but even when you watch them, like, you don't know if that's just a performance.
Mm-hmm.
Like, nobody knows the heart. So ultimately, we're watching this stuff from afar, and we're making assessments about people based on what we see, and like and we don't know anything about the people. And so I think maybe each church just needs to work on learning how to live in relationship with each other in our body, and just be okay with growing our body in discipleship instead of worrying about. Do you think that's a bad idea? Like instead of worrying about what Bethel's doing and worrying about.
Well, no, listen. This goes back to like, do we really need to worry about all the 30,000 different things of how the world is trying to kill us?
Yeah.
Either through conspiracy theory or whatever.
Right.
No, not necessarily. Where I was going to go was, I think this is why people should stick with hymns.
Okay.
Because hymns, they pretty much, for a lot of them, not all of them,
Right.
but you're gonna have an easier time singing scripture with hymns than almost anything else.
Yeah. You just got to change some of the, like a bulwark. I don't even know what a bulwark is.
Right, but I hear what you're laying down. It's old.
Yeah.
It's old, but it's the same thing with like why I like our church. You go, okay, we're going to read through this verse.
Right.
Then we're going to break it down.
Yeah.
Then we're going to go through these verses. We're going to break them down. It's not like, you know why I don't like gays? Because Jesus didn't. And that's how it is.
Yeah.
And you go to some churches, or I think you go to a lot of churches, that's what you get now is.
Yeah. They preach topically.
Here's I'm Matthew 7, whatever. And then that's the last you hear
Right.
of anything in the Bible.
Yeah.
And you're supposed to go, oh, I think I see how that goes
Right,
back.
right.
Okay.
Yeah.
But really what we should be doing is breaking it down line by line, verse by verse,
Right.
word for word.
Right. Right.
No different than the put a note card, put in your pocket, Stephen Manley.
Yeah. Yeah.
Pray on that, meditate on that.
Yeah.
Don't move from that until you understand that.
Right.
Like, that's what we don't do.
Yeah.
That's what the church has gotten rid of. So if we don't, us talking about it isn't going to fix it.
Right.
Us complaining about it isn't going to fix
Right.
it.
Right.
We just have to make sure that we are doing the thing that we think would fix it.
Right.
So that when other people come, and to be honest, I think this last section of growth that we've seen as a church is from that. I'm hearing a lot more. We were going to these churches, but it didn't feel like anything. It was kind of just doing stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Where here we feel like we're getting the truth, and I'm noticing Gen Zers, like the younger, like Zoe's age.
Mm-hmm.
I think we're gonna see a '70s style revival, like we were talking with Jim a few weeks back.
Yeah.
Out of that generation,
Okay, but
wanting the truth.
Okay, but can we do something different with this one?
Well, I mean, we don't have to have like velour.
Right, definitely. Have you watched the Jesus Revolution movie?
The old movie that they made way back when?
No, the new movie they just made. It's recently, within the last year and
No,
a half.
I haven't.
Greg Laurie. I think it's Greg Laurie Productions or whatever.
But that goes back to the original one.
It does, yeah. With Frisbee, the Frisbee guy, the
He was
long-haired
Is this
guy.
where the gay guy comes in?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. This whole thing.
See, I can't
wrap my head around this either because part
that
of me
movement
goes,
bothers me.
I know, but so you're talking about that's the movement that Jim and them were saved under, though, right? The Jesus movement, 70s, 60s, late 60s, 70s. That's the movement Jim and them were saved around, I think. So you got guys like Jim and Carol and Jack and these people coming out of this movement, and they got saved.
Or was that movement just serendipitous?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't want to see. Like, I don't know how benefit. Like, part of that was the whole Billy Graham thing too, from my understanding.
Yeah.
Okay, so you got Billy Graham, and then you got the more rock bands, like Christian rock bands, coming up then, and Billy Graham's approving of them, and then because he's approving of that, the Christian rock music industry starts to take off. So how healthy? Because look at the mess we're in now with all that stuff. So how healthy was that? And if we're going to see a revolution or a revival,
Well, okay, this is the pendulum the other way, is my argument.
So you think it is going to be more grounded in truth and just seeking?
I think that's why people are coming to this church.
Okay, all right.
And I think that's what people are wanting. Because in a world where we're ever increasingly can't trust our eyes or ears because of AI,
yeah.
we've said here before, the only thing is the Bible.
Right.
It's the truth.
Yeah.
So that's what people are coming to find out.
Right.
They want to hear that.
Yeah.
I think despite the world's best efforts to make everything subjective,
Yeah.
the human heart goes, that has failed me
Right.
the whole time till now.
Yeah.
I need to know what the truth is.
Yeah.
And that's where I think we're going.
Yeah. I try my best as I teach the 7th, 8th, 9th grade Bible classes.
Mm-hmm.
I try my best to interact with the students. I like them to talk and think about topics and then come back. But I find myself at times preaching to them about certain things, literally telling to them, listen, you have the greatest opportunity to get this in your head now, and you're going to be light years ahead. And sometimes, Matt, it's amazing when I'm standing there talking to them about like right now in Life of Christ, we're talking about the Beatitudes and how when you recognize that you're poor in spirit and you can't do anything without Jesus, you recognize that because you're poor in spirit, you're blessed and you're in the kingdom. And because you're in the kingdom, you're blessed, And so we're talking about this stuff. And I literally 85 to 90% of that class is just Like, you can almost see it. Like, they're just hooked on it. And it's not because I'm some kind of great teacher, but it's like they have every reason to not pay attention, to like just go off. But they're all just sitting there going, wow, what he's saying has to be right. But I don't know that they know what to do with it. I mean, I think they're processing it, obviously. Okay. But I don't know.
Are they asking questions?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they're asking questions and they're having good discussions, like when we do that stuff. But again, you get them, it's just like anything else. You get them for 40 minutes every day. Mm-hmm. You talk about this stuff. But then they're in the world for how much, that. And depending on what their home life's like or what's going on, wherever, that can be a struggle. But, yeah, this young generation, man, if they grab a hold of the truth.
Yeah.
Man, it would be crazy.
I think that's what they want.
Mm-hmm. I do too.
I think they watch the parents get lied to.
Mm-hmm.
Which scarily enough is me. Actually, I'm getting older than those.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
As I'm having a 18-year-old.
Mm-hmm. She's getting ready to turn 8. No, she's not.
She just turned 17. I got 1 year left. God. I know. This is what I'm saying. This is exactly what I'm saying.
I feel like she just got her license, dude.
I know.
Wow.
Excuse me.
That is crazy.
But I feel like my generation bought a whole bunch of crap from the generation before who bought crap. We're going to go back to, say, World War II, when we when we materialized the country.
Mm-hmm.
And so we're the third generation of lied to.
Yeah.
And the fourth generation is like, you guys can't stay married.
Right.
You guys can't hold a job.
Right.
You guys bring me no stability. Mm-hmm. And I don't even know if you love me.
Yeah.
And so they're going out looking for real answers.
Yeah. Well, I'm excited to see how it all unfolds. They can't
even believe the church on television.
Right.
Because their pastors are being found out to either be doing weird stuff or go to jail.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like everywhere you look is falling apart.
Right.
Is there anything in the country being done well?
Yeah.
To where when we were growing up, America, we win the Olympics, we win baseball.
Yeah, right.
We're going to the moon. Look at our rocket. It's awesome. Our planes are kicking your butt.
Right.
Our Navy's better than anybody. Watch out.
Yeah. Yeah.
We can make anything we want.
Right.
So, we don't have that.
Yeah. And I think that carried into the church, where if you could run a good organization, you were considered to be a good church.
Successful.
Yeah, successful. And now I think people are going, if you can run a good life, like a life that is true to God and right, then that's really what matters.
Yeah.
And I think that's starting to be the mantra. Well, we'll see what happens. I think we talked about this a little bit, and so I'll just throw this out there, but I just wonder if under a Trump presidency, if prosperity is the end game here, and in the next 3 years, the economy just really unfolds and helps people have stuff, I wonder how that's going to change the sense of a need for God then. Like, would that turn this generation back towards, hey, let's try the American dream again. Let's try to get a house and a picket fence and 2.5 kids.
I think too many people are off grid, and I think too many people are hip to that.
Okay.
And I don't necessarily think that that's what that group of people are preaching. I think they want America to just be strong. Trump's not like, and everybody gets a flat screen in every room.
No, right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So.
But if the economy's good, you're going to get one. You're going to buy one, probably.
Yeah, it's your problem.
No, I get it. Yeah,
that's your decision.
Yeah, I know.
You'll be able to have that decision.
Yeah,
and that, I think that's what people want.
Yeah.
If that's what I want to do, I want to be able to have it.
Right.
That decision, and we could debate whether that's godly or not. But
right.
I think honestly that's what Trump wants to put back. I honestly think Trump wants the country to be strong, independent, not worried about being brought down from the inside by evildoers,
Yeah.
being brought down from the outside by people who don't like us.
Mm-hmm.
And he just wants us to be 1980s strong again.
Yeah.
But how you do that is
Right.
how you do it.
Right. Right. And if there was a pretty good revelation from or revival from the 70s, I wonder if it was the 80s Be Strong Again that kind of made that fizzle out and flop, because a lot of those people, like,
yeah, definitely.
you know what I'm saying? Because a lot of those people, even from the Billy Graham Crusades, we've talked about this before, hundreds, if not thousands, go
the United
forward.
States should be saved.
We should be.
Right. Yeah. But listen, the materialism of the 80s definitely ruined a lot of things.
Yeah.
And a lot of mindsets and culture.
Right.
And
it really sucks because things are cool. I mean, they really are.
yeah, things are great. But, all right, so this goes all the way back to what we were kind of talking about when I first got here.
Yeah.
And this idea that I keep talking around with, can anybody from America go to heaven?
Yeah.
Because all we've done is spend our lives trying to figure out how to push back suffering.
Right.
Car, refrigeration, toys, music.
Yeah.
Everything we do, a better home that holds. Our homes are better insulated because we don't want to spend money on gas or whatever to heat it.
Mm-hmm.
Like it all comes down to helping me
Right.
beat back this world, which
Right.
is Satan's domain,
Right.
and I become a god.
Right. And because ultimately that gives you the self autonomy that you desire.
Yeah.
You get to govern and rule yourself.
Right. I don't need anything else
Yeah.
out there. I made this.
Right. Right. Yeah, it's an interesting world that we're living in, 2024, and I can't even believe that in 5
Brett,
weeks.
If you're looking for something, you just type it in on Amazon and see if it's for
right.
sale.
Right. Yeah.
That was something I tell my kids this all the time. In the 80s growing up, there was Atari.
I know. I remember
And then
that.
we were waiting for Nintendo. We didn't know, but
Right.
we were waiting.
Yeah.
And then Nintendo would come out.
Right.
And then this thing called Sega would come out.
Yeah.
Now, they've just always been here. I've got 7 different consoles to choose from
Yeah.
in 4 different platforms.
Right.
And if I don't like any of it, I can use my phone. Like
Have you had a chance?
Go ahead.
Have you had a chance to do the Oculus stuff?
No.
Nathan has that. He doesn't have the brand new one, but he's got that stuff. Like, we played football like the other night, a couple weeks ago. He's like, Dad, I got the football game on here. You want to play it? I'm like, yeah. So I put it on. And so when you put this thing on, right, you're literally, like, you look around, you're literally in Pittsburgh Stadium. And you're looking around.
Which would be so cool.
No, dude, it is cool. You got to come over and try it.
All right.
So you're like, you come up to you call the play, you do your hand because you got your thing. You do your hand.
So
call
you're the
play.
quarterback.
Yeah. So you come under, you take the ball, you snap it, you gut back. I mean, there are literally defenders coming at you. You throw the ball, and those things get in your face. Like, you're literally jumping because you think they're going to nail you.
They're coming at you.
It's so. I mean, it's so. And granted, the graphics are still lacking a little bit because it doesn't look like you and me.
I have heard people get hurt because they trip over stuff in the living room.
You could do that. You could do that. Yeah. And Nathan's got this one game where you like walk off a platform, and you jump and you fall, and it's kind of scary. It's a little freakish, when you feel it. Mm-hmm. But yeah, that's just a small bit
piece
of what's coming.
A small piece. No, I know it.
And the airline or the pilots in the Air Force and stuff. That stuff, they've been doing that stuff for years.
Oh yeah.
Flight
simulators. Yeah, because they need it to be real.
Yeah,
because their life is depending on it.
Yeah.
Oh no, it's that whole Alex Jones. We're taking advantage of 30-year-old tech.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
We're 30 years behind.
Yep.
Out here in Gen Pop.
And you can only imagine like the stuff we're going. Wow, this is amazing. You can only imagine what's in there.
Right.
Do we got any?
No, I don't know. All right, so. The black channel, is it now the green channel?
It should be the green channel.
Okay. It was rolling. I think it froze. So I don't know if we lost people because of that. But I restarted it, and it's going.
Mm-hmm.
And then we've had one viewer, which I'm going to venture to say might be my dad.
Rumble?
Rumble.
Okay. Well, we've got to figure out these platforms probably a little better eventually. I might do some investigation and research trying to
The
figure out what our
when I
upload
got
speed-
here, I changed the stream address and the stream key because they were different
for YouTube,
for Rumble.
Rumble.
Then by the time we sat down after making 2 pots of coffee,
Yeah.
it had changed again.
See, that's not right.
I don't understand why is this happening?
No, I don't know. I'll do some research on that.
You want more coffee? We have a pot here.
I do need some. Although Brandon and them might take some too. So.
They don't get any.
Oh, that's right. I forgot.
Brandon's supposed to be on the show.
Dirtbags.
My daughter just took another piece of paper.
That's all right.
They'll steal all your paper.
We got all that paper from Canada anyway, and they don't need the extra wood. Canada has one of the biggest, forestry things in the world, so we'll take their wood.
They send it to China to be processed.
Yeah,
They're crazy.
it is, and then it comes back to us,
And
right?
it comes back to us.
It's nuts. Well, I don't know where we're at tonight, but I think and it's up to you. You want to wrap it up, but I thought we had a good discussion on that.
We're 48 minutes deep. We're a little light tonight.
Yeah, we are a little light. We don't have Brandon sitting over there.
We're staring.
So somebody told me again, like, we either need to turn Brandon's mic up to like 11 because these go to 11. Are you familiar with that, Matt?
I don't see an 11.
No, this is do you know what I'm talking
Yeah,
about?
I do. Spinal tap.
Spinal tap. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
these go to. We either got to turn his up to 11 or
But why not just make it 10?
well, because these go to 11. Yeah. So Brandon, he either that or Brandon's got to eat that mic better.
It's what he needs to do.
Yeah. And Jim, I think Jim's pretty good. He gets into that.
He does all right.
He talks pretty
Yeah.
good. Yeah. We just got to get Brandon a little more volume somehow. Maybe we tape it to his face.
We need to do a lot of things.
We do. So then, like at the end of the day, these people that are producing these
Amazing podcast.
amazing podcasts, amazing services,
Yeah.
it comes down to money and being able to employ people to do that, right?
Right.
At the end of the day.
No, like how much work it takes just to get this to where it is.
Mm-hmm.
And then we keep it on plane.
Yeah.
Like we just do what we need to do to keep it.
Right.
I mean, that's a lot.
It is. Yeah.
Like,
And nobody's paying us, right?
no, we're not getting paid.
We got to figure out a way to
Nobody's
get paid.
watching us. Forget that.
I know, that's true.
Oh, I was watching our podcast last week.
Yeah.
They ran 2 commercials.
How? Why would they run commercials for our podcast?
I watched 2 commercials and I said, wait a minute, are we getting a check for that?
No.
I'm not joking.
We should look and see if we're monetized. Is it because we've been on there so long?
Well, no, we should be, because we have it selected to do that.
I want that 49 cents.
I know. Is that coming a check?
I don't know. I've never seen it.
Is it 49 or 29?
Maybe I need to get on there and on our YouTube channel and see.
No. That's on Rumble.
Oh, Rumble?
On Rumble, we're getting commercials.
No way.
Yeah.
All right, well, we need to see if they're going to monetize
Yeah.
this
I'm
thing.
not going to let them take advantage of us.
No.
Uh-uh.
Old Trump platform.
We got broken coffee
That's
makers
right.
around here.
You might lower our gas prices, but we're still getting our monetary.
That's right.
Oh, man.
What were we going to talk about?
Tonight we were going to talk about spiritual warfare, but that was kind of a Brandon gig too, so I didn't want to really jump into it if Brandon
No,
wasn't
yeah,
here.
that's fine with me.
Because, I mean, spiritual warfare too, I mean, I think it's a good thing to talk about, but like you said earlier, at the end of the day, it really is grounded in, I think what Turek said, it's true, it's a true thing.
Sure.
And I really come back to that, like, yeah, there are people that need delivered, but how are they going to get delivered? Well, the truth is going to have to deliver them.
Right.
And that's Christ.
Which,
Ultimately.
I mean, that's a verse. There's a verse there. Something about
Truth will set you free.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, it's John 8:31 through 33.
Sure. Thought I heard it somewhere.
Yeah. But the
It's
interesting
right
part,
before teaching man to fish. That one.
No, it's not. There is not a verse like that. But it is right. What's right before that is, if you continue in my word, then you are disciples of mine, and you will know the truth, and then the truth will set you free. You see, truth doesn't set
Wait a
anybody
minute.
free.
So you would have to stay in the word
Yes.
before you could be disciples.
Yeah, you got to continue in his word. Then you'll be disciples.
And then
Then you'll know the truth.
you'll know the truth.
Then it'll set you free.
Wow.
So
That's a lot of steps.
it is. It's good steps.
We
though.
should streamline that.
We will. We'll put it on a T-shirt.
We
It's like you want to be a Christian.
Mm-hmm.
Do something about it.
We decided this was too many words for the front of a T-shirt, so we shortened it to this.
Yeah, I do want to make these T-shirts that Brandon's talking about. I think it's just controversial enough that they'll go viral and we'll sell a lot of them.
Is this as good as the Noah and then it rained?
And it's better, I think.
Okay.
It's, want a hard life, follow Jesus.
Yeah. That was a good one.
Because most people are like, forget that. I don't want to suffer.
Well, that's why the church couldn't sell it.
The other one we're going to do
We had to preach the other way to get it to work out.
The other one we're going to do is Manly's phrase, bleed, suffer, and die.
Bleed, suffer, and die.
Yeah. And
Can
then on
we
the
get
back,
a shirt? I want a Halloween shirt that says "Take, steal, trick."
Oh, we should. We
Yeah.
should do that.
Yeah,
We'll do bleed, suffer, and die, and then on the back it'll say phenomenal.
phenomenal.
And then we'll do, what does it say? Steal, trick.
Yeah, remember when he was talking about
I do.
Halloween? It's take me. I want.
Yeah. We'll have to go back.
We'll have to go back and listen to that because
Yeah.
he just had that nailed that
It
stuff.
was good. Yeah, it was good.
It's not Christmas, love, joy, peace.
Right.
He just rattled right through it,
Yeah.
and you're just like, light bulb.
See, what's great about Manly, though, is this. Like, he has this way of preaching that profound truth and calling that stuff out as demonic, right? It's all that stuff.
Yeah.
But then he has trunk or treat at his church. I'm like, Manly, how can you do that? You just call that stuff out as demonic, and now you're having trunk or treat at your church.
I don't understand. Understand.
Because see, that's the heart. I think that's the heart of a person that's in the kingdom. Like, you're going to do anything you can to reach somebody, but you're always going to be speaking truth about it.
Now, see, I know I'm going to tread lightly here,
Okay.
but I have made people angry in my life doing that.
But he's the kind of guy where he could speak it and you just almost can't get angry at him, don't you think?
Do you get that with age? Does that come with age?
Maybe it just comes with not being a jerk to people. I don't know.
But if you're like, okay,
Because you know how some
if
people
someone
can-
comes along and they're like, I'm going to take this knife and whack at my fingers, and you're like, I wouldn't. Don't you tell me what to do. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah.
And then they whack at their fingers like, oh, that was not a good idea.
Right.
And then I go, oh, somebody said that a half hour ago. Then it's like, you're such a jerk. I don't know why you gotta be a... You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But when Manly does it, it's like, I'm not even... I was going to whack at my fingers, but he's got me thinking this is a bad idea. But when I say, I don't know if I would do that, I'm thinking this is not smart. It's like, well, I'm going to do what I want.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
No, I know exactly what you're saying.
Kids, friends.
Yeah.
But once you get to a certain age,
No.
people start listening. They start going,
Yeah.
this might not be smart.
Do you-
Wait, why did you tell me I shouldn't do this again?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
You know what my oldest son told Nathan here about, 6 months ago? He looked at Nathan and he goes, Nathan, because I was having a conversation with Nathan, and Nathan was like balking back at me and telling me, oh, whatever, blah, blah. Brian looks over at Nathan. He goes, Nathan, when you get older, you'll realize, like I did, that 97% of what mom and dad say is right.
Yeah.
I almost fell down. And then I looked over at Brian and I said, I think it's 99. Not 97. I couldn't let that pass.
Nah, you
right?
might as well. You might as well.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Oh, crud.
What's the matter?
So I text Nathan.
Is this the
right?
car problem?
Yeah, no, but this is a good thing. But it's like I thought we looked at it. So I said, hey, did you guys fix that hose? He goes, yeah. And then he goes, and he fixed the blower motor. And he said it was a fuse, and he found it, and it works. So I must have been looking for the wrong fuse.
Yeah. Right.
I suck.
It's okay.
Man, it's terrible. I
I'd
wish I
like,
was such better.
I'd like to be able to play the guitar, but it doesn't happen.
You play the guitar goodly, Matt.
It's all right.
Yeah. Do you ever just sit and rap at home or no?
Oh, yeah.
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 You still watch that one guy you talked about that like would go to churches for like $3,000 a month or $3,000 a Sunday?
Rhett Shaw?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That's where that was one of my aha moments, as it was.
With the Christian music
With
industry.
Christian music thing. Because I'm wondering, where are all these good musicians climbing out of the woodwork?
Uh-huh.
But then there are. Listen, there's a lot more. But since we're rattling on, Eric Clapton
Yeah, he's no good.
became a good. He's not.
Okay.
He's really not.
I heard you say that, but I don't know.
Technically, Eric Clapton's good because he sat there and beat something that sounded good. Like he is, to me, he's the purest form of talent
Okay.
because he beat something out of that sounded good just because he knew it sounded good.
Okay.
He had no idea why he was doing what he was doing. He just knew that if he played for hours and hours and hours, what sounded good and what didn't sound good.
And he'd find it.
And he'd find it. Right?
That's interesting.
It wasn't until later in life when he actually did a deep dive. I was watching an interview with him once. He did a deep dive. 94, he did In the Cradle.
Okay.
Or From the Cradle. And was it that one or was it the... But he started doing expose, just like blues. Like going back and finding old blues. And he found that like he sucked at it when he compared what he liked about it to what he knew how to do. And he actually went and studied under people, blues musicians, to kind of learn how to do better and play. So fast forward to now, people are learning the nuts and bolts of how to play good blues. And once you do that, once you kind of engineer the car, it's like a stock car. The stock car in the 60s was like, well, I built this motor in my backyard and we all get together and we make circles and we call it NASCAR. That's how that used to be.
Yeah.
They learned from trial and error how to make the cars fast and race.
Yeah.
Then a bunch of engineers got involved and said, well, if we use these joints at this angle, we do this with the tires need to be this wide, this air pressure, we need this much horsepower, this here, this drive shaft this big, that. Next thing you know, this whole car is engineered top to bottom.
Wow.
And they're racing a car within seconds of each other, and it really comes down to the driver.
Yeah.
Same thing with the music thing.
Okay.
They've learned the nuts and the bolts and the modes and the intervals and the scales and the what all the notes are. Like, nobody ever learned all the notes on a guitar neck. You have to now.
Gotcha.
You have to know every note. You have to know where they all are. If you want to start to play this thing well,
Yeah.
to keep up with the people, because that's what they've learned.
Gotcha.
So there are people, like, even now, if you come up to me and go, what note is that? I'm going to go, fourth fret, third string. There are people who go, that's a G. You're on a B.
Gotcha.
And then there are people that are going to go, and that's the seventh in that mode from that on the interval was a 10th. That's why that's a minor harmonic ninth.
Wow.
And you just start to go, oh, yeah, never mind. I don't know what I'm doing.
Wow.
But that's why worship sounds so great now. It's engineered.
It's the same thing with preaching.
Yeah.
I don't think it's a lot different. And so I think too, then the purest form, like you said, like whether it's an Eric Clapton, maybe the purest form of music in the church for worship and the purest form of preaching are people that literally get in there and get dirty and just bang it out.
Yeah. Well, see, where I'm at is when you find the combination of the Eric Clapton talent with the he learned the nuts and bolts.
Okay. Out of the ballpark.
Watch out. Watch out. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, fun stuff. Yeah.
Could be maybe that's where we're going.
Maybe. Maybe.
Yeah. Maybe we're gonna get a preacher who takes all of the rich fancy stuff. No, I don't think that sounds dumb.
We might. I've been praying for God to. I was just praying Wednesday night. God, send some young men who just have a desire to know you and to know the truth and to preach it with boldness.
Yeah.
Imagine if you just get a couple more guys like that.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I know we got some younger guys here that really, you know, they long for the Lord and that, but they're busy. You know, they're doing stuff.
Right.
But we need a couple men who are just like, you know what, I don't want to do anything else.
Right.
With that. And I'm ready to jump on that and say, let's do that. And I'm like, I'll lead Bible study and preach once a Sunday, and you just give me a $400,000 check for the mega church. And that's all that's, I mean, I don't want to be greedy.
I don't want the jet. I'm not asking for the jet.
No, just if once a year, $400,000 check. I'll even preach 3 times a year if they want me to. I'll come in like guest appearances.
Oh, listen, you sold me on the idea.
I like that idea now. I just thought of that. But I
Right.
like it.
Right.
I really like it.
No, you should make it your goal.
All right. Well, we got to get those 2 people in here, 2 young guys in here.
All right. What's a young guy?
At least probably less than 40. Yeah.
It's also a hard pill to swallow in my life these days.
Where are you at right now? You
46.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude,
and I feel like I'm 57.
Dude, a week and a half, I turned 52.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, brother Alex Jones, have you seen him?
Not
He's
recently.
kind of cleaned up. He's looking fit.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, he's been taking that stuff.
Well, I don't.
Ashwagandha or
I
something.
think he's been exercising.
Well, he probably has, yeah.
He's
He takes all that Alex Jones supplement crap,
yeah,
too.
but
though.
listen, he's been selling that for a long time.
Yeah.
And 3 years ago, he looked like crap.
Do you think he gave that stuff to Glenn Beck? Because Glenn Beck doesn't have a double. Like, you can actually see the contour of his neck now, Glenn Beck.
Oh, really?
Have you ever noticed sometimes Glenn Beck, he'll come out like Santa Claus, and then like a month and a half later, he looks like, you know the Santa Claus movie?
Yeah.
Where the guy's like kind of thin.
Yeah,
and
no, it's true.
He'll come out, and then he'll be thinner, and then all of a sudden he's back to
Do you
Santa
think it
Claus.
depends on the beard?
I don't know. I wonder if it's some kind of a weird like sleep habit or like food habit thing that he goes into. Because then he'll wear those big sweaters and he literally looks like Santa Claus with that white beard.
No, he does. Yeah, he does have good times and bad times.
But dude, he was on there yesterday or something. I saw a clip, and he literally, like, you can see his jawline now.
Mm-hmm.
His neck is hanging a little bit. I'm like, he had to have lost probably like maybe 50 or 60 pounds.
Really?
Dude, he's thin. You should look him up.
I watch him every day.
You don't think he's
Well, maybe because I watch him every day.
okay?
I haven't noticed.
Maybe.
Maybe I just think it's gone back.
Because I mean, there was a couple times I was like, dude, I think they blew him up like with some air today because he just looked puffy.
Okay, to me, that was Alex Jones 2-3 years ago.
Okay.
He looked like a spare tire, and I watched him on his new show today.
Okay.
And I don't know if he saved this reveal for after he lost InfoWars supposedly and everything. Dude, I'm like, he's looking like Joe Rogan buff.
No way.
Yeah, I'm not joking.
Is his hair growing back?
No,
Oh, okay.
the hair's not coming back.
All right. And his voice.
But
is
he just
it-
he looks cut.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, well, he was always kind of stocky though, right? A
Yeah.
little bit.
Yeah.
Kind of.
But now he doesn't look like the Michelin Man.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's getting ready for press secretary. Because I think they're going to call him in.
Please. Let that happen.
No, here's the thing. You know, to be
We
honest,
get to go from the toilet bowl haircut lady, the toilet bowl brush haircut lady,
Yeah.
to Alex Jones.
yeah, that would be interesting.
You
So what's going on in chat? Well, brother, I tell you.
you have the reporters, the room of reporters in the White House.
Yeah,
They now are forced to deal with
Alex.
who they thought was scum,
Right.
pond scum. They have to ask him questions.
About what's going on in the world.
Yes. Can you? I mean,
It would be kind of funny.
I would pay money to watch that.
So this is what can't. So did you see Candace Owens?
Lately, in regard to
No, and Alex Jones, like she's promoting, she's begging. She told Trump, she's like on her show, she's like, I will pay his $1 million salary.
yeah,
if you'll make him press secretary or whatever.
Oh my gosh.
She's like,
No,
wouldn't it be
she's a
great?
genius.
Yeah. Now here's what I
genius.
think though, because she made a comment that people are asking her to become Trump's press secretary.
Which could be good.
Could be good, but she's like, no.
Do you feel like
Alex
this
Jones
is
would be so much
self-promotion?
better. I think so.
Do you feel this is backdoor self-promotion?
Yeah. She's like going, Alex Jones should be it, but really I'm going to do it.
All right, so there's the other guy, Dan Bongino, that I watch.
Yeah, he's supposed to have a place.
No,
Oh.
and this is where I'm going to go with this. Is he almost has this attitude of like, why am I getting looked over? Why is Pete Hegseth on there and I like I was pulling the rope pretty hard, brother.
Yeah.
That's almost how I feel like he was talking today.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's gonna be some bitterness.
While saying like I don't need it. Listen.
Yeah.
We did the thing, and I'm just out here preaching the word.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying I need a position, and you're just like, I kind of think.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Well, someone said that Elon had to get a position because of that whole millions of dollars that he put out there. You just have to.
I think those people are just bitter.
They probably are.
He got a position that don't mean nothing.
No.
It's a nothing position.
It really is.
If they do something with it, it'll be cool.
Right.
But it's not like he can do anything.
Yeah.
He has no
Right.
enforcement powers.
Right. And RFK, from what I've heard, he's getting rid of all the vaccines. You're not going to be allowed to get vaccines.
He's
anymore.
He's not a no vaxxer guy.
I know, but because he speaks against vaccines, at least he speaks against the harms or the ills of vaccines.
I'm waiting.
People think he's going to get rid of all vaccine. Like, you're never going to be able to get a vaccine ever
I
again.
tried to warn people. I am waiting for RFK to take a big old turd in the Republican plate.
Really?
Listen, he's a Democrat.
Yeah.
I want to like him.
Yeah.
I was right there too, ready to eat it up, kind of.
Yeah.
But when you watch what he did say and has done,
Oh yeah.
in the past,
Right.
And I don't mean to hold it against him. I don't know. Maybe he doesn't mean these things
Well,
now.
but
I already have heard him say, "I'm not an anti-vaxxer.
Right.
I just don't think that those vaccines were good.
Correct. Yeah.
They need to be tested,
Yeah.
like the old vaccines were."
Yeah. And I don't understand why people can't hear that. Like, the people that are on the other side, as soon as someone
They grab a thing and go.
Yeah, as soon as someone questions vaccine, they're gonna listen. Like, there's nothing wrong with being patient.
Right.
Like, even the whole COVID vaccine, I still look back and think Trump handled that wrong.
Completely.
I mean, I don't.
Completely. And there was to the point where some people on the conservative side said, if you don't let go of that, it's going to sink you.
Yeah, right. Yeah. But I mean, it was just too fast.
They threw that on him because they know he's kind of an arrogant guy.
Yeah.
And he's willing to go, look what I did. I made that decision.
Yeah. Well, it was even like for a while there, I don't think he does it anymore, but he was holding on to the whole ventilator thing. And I'm like, dude, you better drop that ventilator thing. Because people are dying from the ventilators.
Right.
They're getting pneumonia and they can't get it out of their lungs and they're dying from it.
Mm-hmm.
So. But yeah, we've rattled it.
All right. Maybe next week we'll put a regular show back together.
Yeah, we'll try.
We have 4 views. We had 4 people pop in on the live on the YouTube.
Okay. All right.
But
the average watch was 30 seconds.
2 minutes, 2.5 minutes. Yeah.
We gotta figure out a way to get people to watch longer. What should we do?
You don't need to worry about.
Maybe we can get Lauren Daigle.
People don't like to watch me talk.
You don't think?
No, when I talk, it seems like numbers dive.
No, I don't know about that. I've seen numbers dive, period. Whether whoever's talking on this podcast. I think this podcast.
So don't take it personally.
Yeah, so we got to figure out.
We're up to 5 people on the Rumble. Holy
Rumble?
cats.
Did they comment on Rumble or no? Like, can we get their comments?
No, there's no comments.
Huh. Your dad's got to be on there, though.
I think he's probably there. Oh, I left guest Stephen Manley. Like, how did I miss that? I don't know what happened.
Huh.
That doesn't make any sense.
Well, at least brother.
He was
on here.
If he's still with us.
Maybe we need to change the name of our show.
You're stupid. You're stupid like we are. We're all stupid.
We're all, stupid.
Stupid.
Stupid is a mean word, Mr.
I like
Cooper.
I like stupid.
All right. Well, I guess good riddance till next week.
Yeah.
Thursday.
We'll try it again.
All right, sounds good.
I'll try and get it together.
I don't know.
Right.
We got to figure something out. I'm gonna take a look at some of that stuff this weekend.
All right.
All right, sounds good.
With that promise, you all have something to look forward to.
Yeah, we're gonna get new cameras too if we get this grant thing.
Shh, quiet. Don't tell anybody the secret. Don't tell everybody.
All right, I won't. All right. New cameras. Old cameras.
Yeah. Cameras in general. I need to find our closer. Uneducated exit.
Don't you think too? We need more guts.
For our computer?
Yeah.
Why? What's it doing wrong?
Do you think that's probably the reason why things are?
You want to do something magical? Get us some internet.
Do you think that's the key?
No, I think that's our problem.
Okay.
Yeah, we're trying to shove this down a tiny pipe.
Okay.
Go ahead.
All right. Well, let me figure out how to do that too. I'll look into that. It's probably gonna cost us an arm and a leg. The scuzz bags.
No, it's garbage.
We gonna get what's that Starlink crap from Elon Musk?
What's that cost?
I don't know, but I don't know if is it any good. Is it tried and true? Tested? Satellite?
1,000 screaming Aborigines and a bunch of people in Asheville, North Carolina that were glad it was there.